What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Pitter Patter Pop. Today we're talking about a little bit of a continuation from yesterday's video. I wanted this to be kind of a dialogue with you guys, with the viewer or whatever, the Pitter Patter Pop community, at least the ones that watch me. I know that's not close to everybody in the community, but still, my community. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Awakening system a little bit more. Maybe share like what my hopes for it were, and then we'll share a little bit of alarming information about it, and I want to see what you guys think. Are you still hype? Are you, less hype? Are you more hype? Are you indifferent? Maybe you never cared about this at all. I don't know, but I want to hear from you guys after I lay it all out on the table. So my initial hope when I heard of an Awakening system, you can see it on the screen right now. My initial hope here was that reaching the GR +3 would in some way change their skill. I guess that's kind of a lofty hope, because that requires changing a lot of, function on each individual character. And I still kind of am clinging to this hope that the EX sticker will do that. Will either alter or buff their special skill. I mean, so I was thinking about it, and like I mentioned in the last video a little bit, I think that a power increase is a negligible buff. I think the amount of power you would have to stick into some of these units, especially something like Jonathan is kind of the exception, I guess, to an extent, because he's notably better than the other four. But even then, like, the amount of power you would have to stick into these units to make them competitive with other units is a lot. I've always sort of been the proponent of finding value in units where they're good. Like, I really like units like Act 2 Koichi and voiced Bucciarati and all that kind of stuff, because they have different uses. Like, those guys are really great when you're in missions for bingo that need you to open boxes, or guys like Pesci that guarantee 4x4s and higher, 5x5s and stuff. And I've always liked using as many different characters as I can in different things outside of just score attack, because score attack feels so one-dimensional. But at the same time, you can't really make like a meta out of those other things, Score attack is very clearly what this game has decided its end game is going to be. So to me, for buffs to be relevant, or at least make sense, like from an audience perspective for wanting these buffs, they would need to be at least semi-relevant in score attack. Now, I'm not talking that they need to compete with voiced Part 4 JoJo or anything like that. That's crazy. But, competing with something like voiced old Joseph, or, sliding into A tier somewhere, or even high B tier, like, just being good, and power is not going to do that. They need something new. So I was initially disheartened when I saw that the Awakening was going to be more of a level cap increase. I'm still clinging to hope that the EX sticker will do the thing that I want it to do, but then I got some more upsetting news where it's been revealed that the Awakening levels come from pulling dupe characters. I guess their whales were hitting the point where you're just getting so many tickets that it just feels pointless to pull. I don't know. I don't really know. It's clear they want people to pull more. And that puts you in a weird position where this game is not super aggressive with the currency that it gives out for free, which is fine. You don't have to be, But you need to be relative to the importance of pulling. So Pitter Patter Pop has always been kind of a pulling is very low-key sort of game, you know, because they go on these really long stretches where they release just like mid stuff. You know, they drop like mid-tier dudes who are okay, or they just drop outright bad dudes, you know, like Voice Mista was not that long ago in comparison to everything else, and he's just awful. And so pulling is usually something you can kind of do when it's necessary, right? Like there's been a stretch of really good stuff lately. Like you had Voice Risotto, and then Voice Part 4 Jotaro, and then Voice Kakuin, and it's just been crazy. But like it's not always like that, and it's actually pretty rare that you get that many really good things back to back to back like that. And we may not go back to the old way. Like maybe they're just gonna start saying screw it, let's just release OP stuff, or maybe we are gonna go back to the old way. But my point here is that if you're going to make this mechanic locked behind pulling dupes, that raises a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. Because let's say these old guys do become really good. You know, like maybe the EX sticker does make them OP. Maybe Jonathan makes an automatic 4x4 that's charged or something crazy like that, you know? Well, now you've got all the free-to-play players that are, or not even just free-to-play players, because like I'm not a full-blown whale. Like I know there's some whales out there. That's not. I'm close. I'm like a whatever the middle is. Dolphin, is that what they call it? That's me. And I think it's pretty unlikely that I could even come close to +3ing one of these if it's based on dupes. Even if getting a dupe immediately is the next level, which it looks like it's going to be. It looks like you need 1 dupe per level because the Frog Giorno event apparently is only giving 1 dupe per, but I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that. We have to wait until tomorrow to find out. But it's just kind of... I don't want to say they fumbled the bag, because I haven't seen yet exactly how it's going to be implemented. I won't know until tomorrow, just like the rest of you guys. But I'm starting to get worried that they fumbled the bag. Because if these are locked behind purely pulling, they're going to need to massively increase the amount of stuff that they give away. And then it makes the system kind of pointless. Does that make sense? Okay, because like let's say they massively increase the amount of gems they give out, but these guys, even after their buffs, like awakened units still suck, right? Like let's say they get all their buffs and they're still terrible. Well, then no one's going to pull for them. So they're just going to wait for, you know, the next Voice Risotto or whatever anyway, which is fine, I guess, but then why even bother taking the time to make the system if the system blows? Because if you have the system come out and it's lackluster, that's a much bigger, like, annoyance to me, at least, than just not making it at all. Like, if you make this new thing and you advertise it and then it ends up being really bad, it's a real kick in the spirit, you know what I mean? It's like, it makes me at least downtrodden almost, like, oh, all that development time that could have gone into something good has now been put into something pointless. But then if you make them really good and you don't increase the amount of free stuff that you start giving out, you're essentially locking everyone out of getting them in a reasonable time frame. Like, I mean, I guess, like, you could coin pull some of these dudes, and, like, their banner, the launch banner, is always up for tickets. So I guess you could try to ticket it and get some, and I know they're going to release these guys in their own banners coming up, but, like, who's spending... I don't know. I don't want this system, I guess, to be bait for the anniversary, right? So the anniversary is moderately soon. I'm 90% sure it's like a month. I'm not 100% sure on the dates, but I should know it. It's kind of sad that I don't know it. I really should know it. But it's somewhere in like October. And it just, I think, right? October? I think it's October. And it just sucks to think they made this entire new mode just to encourage people to crap out their diamonds so that they can drop like Bites the Dust or something, who's really, really good. And so, like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways they could have implemented this, be it behind, like, really hard. Like, this could have been the new endgame event. Like, remember the all-out war that was really, really hard? And people, like, kind of complained because it was so hard. I really liked that event. I did clear it. I didn't do anything on it, but I probably should have in hindsight because now it's gone forever. But they made it much easier, and I really want the hard one back. And you could have very easily put gems in that, and you don't have to, like, obviously the gems are character coded, but you could have put in a currency, kind of like sticker ink, that you could trade for gems of whatever character you wanted. So it could have been like a slow process. Like maybe it releases and all they give you in the first event is enough to plus one guy, you know? And then over time you have to save up more stuff to get more. I think that's totally cool and that's perfectly fine. And it's rewarding and it's encouraging people to play more and pull more out of their bad units. Like, you know, especially the all-out war thing, a lot of people were complaining, like, how am I supposed to have these teams? And it's like, SR and BR units are not useless. Like, you can use them and clear these kinds of events and stuff. And I really liked that. And I was hoping Awakening would play into that somehow. But if it's just more of, like, the content cycle's not changing at all, now you just have to drop even more diamonds if you want things. It's a real... I guess it's a real disappointment. I don't want to say that they fumbled the bag yet because I want to see what the end result is. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? I had to bust out another episode of MORIOH CHO Radio just to have a little one-on-one about this. We'll obviously have some game video tomorrow to see what the actual system is all about. And we'll talk about it and stuff then. But I just wanted to see what you guys think on the evening of the biggest Pitter Patter Pop update. Are you hopeful? Are you concerned? Are you sad? Are you excited? What are you? You know, one of the biggest updates in the game's history, well, maybe not history, but in a long time, is coming tomorrow. You know what? Maybe one of the biggest in the history of the game is coming tomorrow. And I want to see what you guys think. This is Update Eve Special Edition MORIOH CHO Radio. You know, let me hear what you guys think. Make sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, whatever, you know, put me in some kind of playlist, whatever you want to do. I'm considering doing more MORIOH CHO Radio episodes, maybe just like some discussion videos, maybe have some guests. Maybe it'd be sort of like the spiritual successor to Pitter Patter Be Poppin', for those of you who know what that is. But basically like a podcast kind of thing, just talk about the game, maybe talk about other JoJo stuff too, like Stardust Shooters, the anime, the manga, Eyes of Heaven, you know, whatever's going on, the cool Japanese-only games and stuff like that. So let me know as well if you guys would like to see more MORIOH CHO radios, maybe with some special guests in the future. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. So thank you guys. Make sure to let me know down below how you're feeling. I want to talk to you guys tonight. I want us to all talk together about how we feel going into Update Eve. All right, guys. You have a good night.